Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Brady from Celtics for Life, and yeah, this was a pretty disappointing game here for the Celtics. Not gonna lie, lost by 20 points. Basically, how the game went up 2-0, and we never led after that. I'd say after the first possession, it looked like Tatum was about to drop 50, but after that, it changed drastically. And it's kind of pain here as I'm watching on NBA TV the Celtics Warriors replay and how good that game was. And to now, a week later, it's a bit different, I guess. But here we are. They did not shoot well today. They had open looks. Fourth quarter especially, they had a lot of open looks. They didn't convert. They could have given themselves a chance to at least compete down the stretch, but that didn't happen. Charlotte, they shot the shit out of the ball today. They were ridiculous. They were 21 of 43, but they were 20 of 36 from three with their starters. So they were just insane shooting the ball. So I got to give some credit. Charlotte played out of their minds today. They played about as good as a basketball game they could have. Defensively, they were very good. Offensively, um, but defensively, they should be no match for our offensive weapons, even without Rob Williams. Our weapons just did not perform to their best today. Did not provide the effort and the energy they needed to. Um, that's something that we're still searching for with this team. We have to find some sort of effort. If we're gonna want to make a deep playoff run, that's where it's going to come from effort and energy, and they need to be motivated. And I think part of it that will come in the playoffs a little bit too. This team does look when they need to step up. They do. Something kicks into them to kind of get them a little bit more motivated, but it shouldn't take that all the time. Um, it shouldn't take playoff basketball for you to get motivated. It should take the regular season in general. You should be motivated. So that's a little frustrating to see. This team struggle so much. Um, this year when they have the talent, they've been through the batter with COVID. They've just been battered by COVID, like they're ridiculously hard. Fournier looks does not even look close. I haven't seen Evan Fournier sprint once. I have not seen him, not once. I've seen this dude jog back and forth, if that's how he's getting his cardio in. But Evan Fournier has not. I have not seen this dude sprint off the ball. I have not. I don't. Maybe that just the camera hasn't been on, but I have not seen this dude run once in the last two games. And he's got about how many minutes of basketball did he have today? He had 20 minutes. I think he had about 20 minutes last game too. I mean, it's just that if you're not ready to play basketball, then don't come back yet. Um, every shot he takes, he short rims it. He's just not. He's not the reason why we lost today. But it's frustrating to see what he did before he left. He made 10 straight threes, I think it was, and then he got COVID. So that was frustrating. Um, I thought Kemba played well today. Kemba kept us in the game at times. Thompson looked lost. Thompson looked great the first 2 minutes. And then after that, he looked lost defensively. He was struggling, contesting the perimeter guys. Everybody on the Charlotte was a perimeter guy today. Everybody shot the three with ridiculous ability. We had no match. If the team's going to make 20 out of 36 threes, if the starting unit is going to do that, it's going to be virtually almost impossible to compete with that. But Tatum did not have a lot of energy. He had another double double today, 19-11, but he didn't shoot well. He just didn't play well overall. It's so frustrating to see that we need to get this dude motivated every single game. He has to be. We cannot be asking every game for Jason Tatum to run back on defense every time. We should not have to ask that. He should be doing that every time. You don't get the call, you don't make the bucket, so what? Put your head down, get back on defense. It was very, very frustrating to see from the Celtics today. The Hornets overall, take a look at their guys. They had four guys with 20 plus points today. Charlotte Hornets played like they could have beat anybody today. So that's one thing I guess you keep in mind. And I don't want to overreact because it's a two-game stretch, and the Knicks and the Hawks schedule get really tough down the road. They get really, really tough. So I'm not gonna sit here and mope too much, but it's just frustrating. It's a team that has all the talent in the world. That they're definitely capable of being as high as a like a two, they're as high capable of being like a two seed this year if they played well, because all the other teams have not played. All the other teams, have not played unbelievable as well. Like our best teams in the conference that have played well, are just above the pack. Their records. If the Celtics had the same record as they did last year, they right now they would be like a two seed, or even almost a one seed, I think. So if the Celtics play to their potential, we'd be talking about a different season, right now, and hopefully in the playoffs we can turn that around. But uh, you know, just wasn't a great game today. One thing I would like to see more. Oh, well, actually, another thing. End of the third quarter, there was a big stretch. We cut back in this game. Our defense looked unbelievable. We were scrappy getting around, and then they kind of, um, I think Charlotte took it back to like 13 or whatever, and then we cut it back down again to um, nine. It was, and then we had a 2-for-1. We converted, and the we converted the 1-for-1. We needed 2-for-1. Ended up being a 2-for-1 for Charlotte. At the end of the third quarter, Smart took it down. We were down nine, like 7 seconds left. He took it down the court. PJ Washington hooked his arm. He shot the ball. Didn't get the call. Um, they ended up taking the loose ball and made a three to extend it to 12, and that's about where the game ended right there. We had, we had no shot after that. Absolutely no shot. So I was really frustrated, with that. I was frustrated with the referees a lot for that because that could have changed the game. We might have won the game because of that. But that just deflated our energy, and we needed to come back from that. We didn't. So that was very frustrating. But one thing I want to touch on with this team is they need to get out on the fast break more. They need to find ways, and that's defensively being engaged. That is definitely part of it. But they need to get out on the fast break more. Celtics, they average 1.6 points per game on the fast break, and I know when Jaylen Brown sees an opening and Jason Tatum sees an opening, they are two of the best at it. And Jaylen, in particular, is as good as they come in transition. He's virtually unstoppable in transition. So they need to find ways to get on the fast break. They just do because that's when they're best. That is when they are at their best, when they're in transition. They are almost unstoppable. They are the best in the league. They're guaranteed 2 points, every time they get in transition. So we need to see that happen more. There's no excuse right now. I mean, Rob Williams is a big part of this roster. There's no question. He is part of the future. He's could be an all-star center in the future for sure. But we need him back for sure. But there is no question that this team is certainly capable of beating a depleted Hornets roster. And they needed to get on the fast break more. In the beginning of the game, they were just posting up guys. Like, I get the Hornets are small, I get it, and we have good isolation scorers, but that is not what our Celtics basketball is meant to be. Our Celtics basketball is meant to be hot potato. Let's flip it around the perimeter, and then let's attack. I'd like to see that more. Let's drive, attack, let's kick out, and let's repeat until we get the best shot possible. That's what it should be. And at times we can get into iso ball with Jalen, Kemba, and Tatum too. We can allow that because they're three of the best. They are the three best at that on our team, so that is certainly okay. But they just need to push the ball. They need to push the ball, and that's one thing I'm going to be looking for, and hopefully Brad can emphasize in these guys is effort on the defensive side and effort on the offensive side. Pushing the ball is going to be crucial, and we take a look at these upcoming standings here. Or the upcoming schedule here in the standings. We're currently the sixth seed, so it could be worse, I guess. Um, but we get some ground to make up, and we're dangerously close from being in the play-in. If the Heat catch fire here, that is something we're gonna have to watch out for. The Knicks and the Hawks schedule coming up is definitely more difficult than us. Our schedule coming up, our playoff teams we're playing coming up include the Hornets, the Spurs, the Blazers. We play the Heat twice, and then we play the Knicks for the last final game of the season. Wouldn't that be something if we play the Knicks? We play the Knicks May 16th to close out the season. If it comes down to the 4 seed or something, to play the Knicks, that'd be something. That'd be a uh, great way to close out the season. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, and we get ahead of them enough. But that'd be something for sure. Um, but the Hawks, they play the Bucks, the Blazers, or they play the Bucks, the Sixers twice, then the Blazers, then the Suns and the Pacers and the Wizards twice. So they have no easy road. We're hoping that they can lose, all those tough, or they can at least lose to the Bucks. They have Clint Bell's questionable tonight. Um, Trae Young's out for 2 weeks. Hopefully the Blazers can start to find their stride. Um, in that game, we'll take a look at the Hawks schedule coming up here. Um, yes. So the Hawks are playing. They're at home versus Portland, so that stinks a little bit. Um, Hopefully the Suns can take care of business. Hopefully the Sixers can take care of business twice versus them. And Embiid's healthy for that. We want that to happen. And then the Wizards, hopefully they can take one from the Hawks as well. We add those up. We got one, two, four, hopefully 5 or 6 losses in the final 11 games. Is it for the Hawks? They are 33 and 27. So they got 12 more games. So hopefully 5 or 6 more losses. Hopefully the Hawks can finish, 6 and 6, 7 and 5, and we could finish like 9 and 2 or something. That would be nice. And then the Knicks, we will flip to their schedule. Actually, we'll flip to the Heat schedule. Oh no, here we go. Flip to the Heat schedule just to keep you guys in the loop. They did beat the Bulls last night, which kind of sucked. Hopefully we hoping for a win there, but we'll take a look. So tough games coming up. They'll play the Spurs, the Hornets, the Mavericks, the Celtics twice, the Sixers, the Heat, and the Bucks. So hopefully we can take care of business versus the Heat. At least split the Heat. We're looking for that. But hopefully take both. If we can get 2 wins versus the Heat, the Sixers take care of business, and the Bucks take care of business. Hopefully the Mavericks can beat them. Um, and either the Spurs and the Hornets take a game from them. That would be very nice, if possible. And or the Bulls, maybe they get on revenge and they can find a win versus them. So that would be nice. Hopefully the Heat can stack up about 4 or 5 more losses this year, um, or hopefully 5 or 6 more losses, so we don't have to worry about that either. And then they got to go in the play-in tournament. Um, that is something we definitely would like to see. And then we'll go back to the standings here. And then the Knicks have the toughest schedule. I don't see, the Knicks are playing some great basketball. They've won, I think, it's 8 or 9 in a row now. But man, they play the Suns. They play the Suns, the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies play tough basketball, and they got Jaren Jackson Jr. back now. Do not sleep on the Grizzlies. Grizzlies could ruin a playoff run potentially. They are a really tough squad, so watch out for them. Then they play the Nuggets, who are still have MVP Nikola Jokic. Then they play the Suns. Then they play the Clippers, the Lakers. They're going on a West Coast trip here, right as the season's ending. I mean, they play how many games on the road? They play one. They got to look at this road trip they got coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 game road trip coming up right before the season. I got to assume they're going to lose probably at least 3 out of 6 of those games. There's no way that the Knicks are going to take care of business. And then, as I said, we play the Knicks the final game of the season. They also play the Hornets and the Spurs again. They have an extraordinarily tough schedule coming up. So we're going to need to really, uh, make sure that we take care of our business too. And as long as that happens, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't at least go into the 5 seed and hopefully the 4 seed, so we can have home court in that first round. Be nice. We can open up maybe 2-0 in the series and take it from there. But um, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. But our schedule is definitely easier than the upcoming. We'll take a look at our schedule too, as why not? As we go. The Knicks are currently 2 games ahead of us, 2.5. Let me go back there. The Knicks are currently, 2 games ahead of us, so not a ton of ground to make up, but we do definitely have some ground we need to make up, and we just got to take care of. I'm no way we lose to the Thunder, no chance. After this Hornets game, we're at home. I don't see them losing. I mean, I know it's pretty depressing, but they will be motivated after they just got their asses handed them by the Hornets. The Spurs might be a tough one, but hopefully we'll get the win there. So hopefully that's 3 wins. Blazers is a tough one. It might be 50-50 game, but hopefully, Dame doesn't go off and we can. I'll give him a loss as a worst case scenario. So we're 3-1. No way we lose to the Magic. 4-1. We lost to the Bulls last time, so we may lose. So I can't officially say, but hopefully we go 5-1 at this point. We're starting to lock in a little bit. Let's say we split with the Heat. We just run into them at the wrong time. 6-1, 6-2 at this point. Hopefully we beat the Cavs. You never know. 7-2 there. We beat the Timberwolves. We should 8-2, and hopefully we take care of the Knicks. And if not, we'll settle for 8-3. But hopefully we're 9-2 when we finish out the season here, and we could be 41-31 to finish off with our record. Or would it be 41-31? Or yeah, it would be 41-31, and it would be even nicer if we could be 42-30. So hopefully we can find a way to go 9-2 or 10-1 here to close out the season, and we're definitely going to be looking at the 4 seed if we do that. Just get my biggest thing for the Celtics is just get healthy, and put yourself in the 4 or the 5 seed. Get healthy, and we'll go from there. Because this is a team that could really be a problem in the Eastern Conference playoffs. They really could. So I'm still not gonna. This might just be a little blip. They've still been playing really good ball this April. We can't forget that. A couple of games here, they're playing Brooklyn on the road on a back-to-back, and then they're playing a early Sunday start versus Charlotte. I've seen worse Sunday starts from the Celtics this year, believe it or not. One of them versus one of those New York teams that we're not going to talk about, but so they're still in play to make a deep playoff run. They have to be near perfect. That's reality. We're at right now. They have to be near perfect. So hopefully we can see that from them, because they're really close from, I think, tapping into at least some of their ceiling for this season. And if they can start to tap into that at the right time, we could really be looking at a dangerous Celtics team going into the playoffs. Um, but we got to get healthy. We got to get Fournier back on his feet. We got to make sure Tatum's into the game at all times. Um, we got to get Rob Williams back healthy. I think if this were the playoffs, I think Rob Williams would be playing right now. But I think they're just being extra cautious with him. But so yeah, so that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully Celtics can put some wins together, and we can we'd be a little bit happier than we are right now. But yeah, hope you're all guys are having a good night, and yeah, peace out.